Alright, so we're back on the low budget restoration on the Xterra. Due to circumstances, we did the video on changing out the brake booster and going through all the process of doing that, and well, we ended up with a complete and total audio failure. So none of that video footage was useful. That's okay. Sometimes things happen. But today we are going to try to install the junkyard door handle that we got a while back, and we're going to get into it and see what it takes to get the door panel off and replace this handle. Alright, first thing we got to do is access the one screw that we can see externally here down in that little door pocket. Had to hit it with a little brake clean to clean out the gunk. What's next?
Maybe under there.
Let's see if that will either break it or take clips. Nope, it's got clips.
It's got clips and Phillips head.
The Phillips gonna reach it? Phillips or 10mm? What's moving?
I'm not sure.
There you go. That needs to come off. Lift out your switch panel carefully. There you go. Should be able to press the tabs and lift and unplug the switch.
Yeah, second.
Let's get in there. There you go. Yep, sometimes you gotta use a tool. Put a little extra pressure on. Alright, once the tab's down, you should be able to take your fingers.
It's not down.
Some of these are difficult. There you go. I saw it move. Struggle is real sometimes. Especially if they've been in there forever, they're going to be stuck.
Just don't break it.
There it comes. Alright, go ahead and take your fingers on either side and walk it out.
Come on.
There it is. Alright, so do we see any more fasteners? Yep, screw there and a screw there. It should pop off around the bottom, I would think. Grab it, take your fingers and run around. There you go. Alright, this trim piece. Alright, should be able to lift it straight up. Here it comes. Piece of cake, nothing to it. Take a look at why this is moving. Alright. I think your access hole is here and here.
Yeah.
Now, let's hope we have enough tools here to actually do it.
Oh, it's not gonna be fun.
So we've got a screw right there. There's a window track that runs down here that needs to be moved over slightly so that you can gain access to that nut right there. And then there should be a nut. You can barely see it up in there. But you gotta do a little bit of moving to get enough access. Now, that should allow it enough to move over, and you shouldn't have to take it all the way out. It shouldn't fall out, but you should be able to move it over enough to get access to that. We'll see. If we have to take it out, we have to take it out. It's not that big a deal. Get your long extension, and let's get up in those holes and see if you can try the one that's going to be most difficult to get to, and see if that track will move over now. Should be able to kind of scoot it out of the way. Is it work? Working like a champ. Look at there. Imagine that. Somebody knows what they're doing. Nice to have somebody else turning wrenches for a change. Yeah, do your best to not drop it down in the door, because I don't know where my magnet is at the moment.
Right.
Careful.
Not off still.
Take the ratchet in the garbage and just use your extension. Because it's loose enough, you can just turn it by hand. You'll have more control. There you go. And it fell to the bottom of the door. So we get the next one and drop it to the bottom of the door, so we'll have to try to find it.
That's the idea.
Yay, he saved that one.
From eternal damnation.
Okay. Let's come out here and get your handle.
Drop everything.
What fell?
The back plate.
Oh, okay. Well, good. At least we know where it is.
Smooth move, X-Lax.
Well, my question is why is this door handle not working? Because the piece that we thought was broken is there.
Looks a lot like the one we just put out of the junkyard.
Yep. So I guess we get to go look further and find out why this door handle is not working. Okay, it's going to be a little blurry, but you can make out what he's hitting right there. That control rod is supposed to go down into the latch itself. Apparently, we have figured out that somebody has been in this door before, and when they reassembled it, they didn't ring that hole. Alright, we got the handle reinstalled, put the nuts back on it. Now we're going to test it. To test a latch, it's really simple. Grab me that screwdriver right there, if you would. Stick it in there and trip that. Okay, that looks like it's closed. Now we're going to grab the door handle and pull on that just a little bit, son. Put the screwdriver in the latch and pull it up. There you go. I'm going to set it again. And it releases. And as you can see, this latch has got problems. This is why somebody was in here messing with it. So, anyway, come on camera, here we go. Anyway, as you can see, this latch has problems, and we're going to have to get in here and I'll have to fix the door. But, go ahead and close it, see if you can reopen it. Wait. Oh, we had vice grips on it to keep it from coming back on this hill. Let's see if it's... Alright, there it is.
Yeah.
Didn't even need a door handle. Now we have one in case it ever breaks. If you'd asked me, I'd bet money that the door handle was broke. Alright.
Needs the door hinge still.
Still got to do the door hinge, and we still got to fix that latch pocket. So, what else are we going to do today while we're here?
See if we can suss out the AC issue, and I'm going to replace the air hose.
Yep. Because every air hose on every automobile made, those go bad. So, he's going to go ahead and swap that out. Pretty simple little process. Got to reuse this clamp, and reuse this clamp. But other than that, it should be a piece of cake. Okay, alright, so we have the new air pipe put on, and bring it over here and let's show why. Every car that has an air snorkel on it like this happens to all of them, and everybody wants to think they can wrap it in duct tape. But let me tell you why that's not a good idea. You have a sensor right here that is metering the amount of air that this engine is seeing, and if you have a crack anywhere between here and here, the engine then gets unmetered air, in which case it changes the fuel air mixture and your vehicle will run like crap. So if you have a crack, hole, split in one of these pipes, just replace it. Alright, one of the other problems with this Xterra, someone sometime in its life, and I don't know why they did this, this is not safe, they tied directly in to the compressor with a hot wire. See this wire here? They left that naked and just twisted it together. They left that naked and just twisted it together. So what did they do when they wanted air conditioner? Well, they just came over, listened carefully, and they just hooked the hot wire straight to the battery while still attempting to burn their vehicle to the ground. Do not do this. Now, let's get into the electrical side of this air conditioner, and we'll talk about a few things. Some of this stuff is standard operating procedure for most any kind of electrical. This is the AC clutch relay. See if you can see this right here. Alright, you see you have terminal 1 and terminal 2, and you have a squiggly line in the middle. What that tells you is that is the coil side of this relay. That is what is the pull in, and is actually attached between here and here. So it closes this switch. When you provide power to these circuits right here, or ground, however it's wired, it will cause that coil to pull in and put circuit between 3 and 5. Okay? Now, you should have at least one post on this block. Come over here, Mr. Cameraman. Excuse me. You should have one post of these 4 that is hot all the time, and it is that one right there. That post is hot all the time, and I have to determine which one of these 2 here is hot when switched or ground when switched. One of the things I did determine, find my wire, and I did determine that my circuit from here to the clutch, when I touch those 2 together, from here to the clutch, the circuit is good. So now we're going to work on determining whether or not what's wrong with the switched side of the circuit, if we're getting power, if we're losing ground, or exactly what's going on. So we're going to pause right here and diagnose that, and then we'll come back and explain it. Alright, so what we were able to determine is, after looking at the diagram, is when the key is on, and I put the test lead here, it does power up, and we do have power. So come in here. So what that tells me is we have power for our relay, but when I check this side, there's no ground. This side, number 2, which is right here, has no ground. So what we got to looking at as we got online, because I don't have a book for this truck just yet, I got online and we found a wiring diagram that kind of details out some of the air conditioning circuit. Is this circuit is actually controlled through the ECM. So what that tells me is it could be that we're missing a ground through the ECM. What I also found is that there is a circuit switch out front on the dryer bottle, which tells the system when it's low on Freon and should keep the system from coming on. So at the moment, don't have any Freon to put in the system. So what we're going to have to do is get a can of Freon, or hook my gauges up and see just how much Freon is in this system, because that may be all that's wrong and why this doesn't have power. And it may have had just enough, barely enough AC refrigerant in it, so that when they hot wired the compressor, it was cooling some. Hopefully they didn't damage the compressor by doing that. So until we can get a can of Freon and finish testing this thing, why don't you go watch another video coming on the screen right now.